0 to 60 can define a performance car, but it's the fastest 60 to 0 that's the aim of Tarok's brakes. From road cars to race cars, circuits, special stages, or the autostrada, nothing reduces speed like Tarok's brakes. Italy gave the world the art of Da Vinci and Michelangelo. Tarok's has given drivers the art of stopping. For more information and to acquire your own masterpiece, visit taroks.co.uk. Yes, it's me, Mike Stone, and this is the Backseat Driver Podcast. It's the fastest, it's the friendliest, and it's for all the family. The Gas Shocks 116 Trophy and 120 Coupe Cup are the fastest growing race series in the UK, taking in 6 one-hour races and 8 sprints at all the top circuits. Visit 116trophy.com to find out more and get yourself behind the wheel. From a pot of tea to TT motorbikes. From a classic English breakfast to a full serving of classic cars. Bridge House Tea Rooms is the Northwest premier classic car meeting location for cars, bikes, tractors and owners clubs. So no matter what your automotive appetite might be, visit Bridge House Farm Tea Rooms on their Facebook page or call John and Alicia on 07980 444 221 for show details and to reserve your own table and parking space. I'd like to welcome back to the Backseat Driver last week's pairing of Malcolm Graham and Charlie Woodward. As I said, it really will develop into the Malc Graham show. But gentlemen, welcome back.
Good to be here again.
Right, we just left the yellow Datsun behind. How did you come to end up with a Works car? Because it was a strange story how you and Charlie landed with a proper Works Datsun.
Well, you better, because I got it wrong last time. I thought we were given it, but we weren't, were we? David Taylor had to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was a bit of a spare car. It was like a leftover car in a roundabout way, wasn't it?
Not really, because Timo Salonen and Tony Bond had taken it in turns to do the wrecking in it. And the last one that I know we wrecking it. Oh, Christ. Timo Salonen did a full recce of the San Remo rally.
Yeah.
And after that one, arrived a proper PA-10 saloon for him. So then was when it was surplus to requirements.
Yeah.
And Dave Taylor, without us asking, bought it for us.
Yeah.
So we went down to pick it up, and I had a new jumper on, and I was that nervous. I sweat so much that this new Gabici jumper were halfway up my neck at the back by the time I got home. And it was the best thing we'd ever been in, weren't it?
I was going to say, to jump from, a well-prepared car into a Works car must be a tremendous difference.
Yeah. And anybody that worked on it, everybody remarked you could change gearbox in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything were quick release. It was so light it had been dipped in acid to knock a few thou off bodywork. So bonnet, when you put that up, it was like a
bit like a sail, weren't it?
Rolling about all over. And I can remember one time, we were down at Silverstone, Andy Dawson's place by then, and Andy rung me up and said, I want to see you tomorrow afternoon, which was a Wednesday, your half day. I said, why, is it ready? He said, no, I have a proposition for you. I said, aye, all right. So me and a man called Gentleman Jim Wade, he took me down and we sat in the office, and he said, right, Malcolm, I've got a proposition. Have you ever heard of an Irish rally driver called Ernest Kidney? I said, I have. He says, well, he owns a company called Permapost Fencing. I said, does he? I never knew that. And he's sponsoring the Kilwendegg Rally, which is a week on Saturday. And he wants to actually drive on his own event. And I thought your car would be ideal. He said, so he can either give you £3,000 for this privilege, or you can have latest disc, a new gearbox, new top end. And I said, 3,000 quid sounds good. Jim kicked me under the table and shook his head, hoping that Andy didn't see. We'll take the latter one, please. We'll have the car done. Oh, he said, and there's a new bike axle with some sort of active somethings on. I've never understood it. So we left it at that, and off we went home. So I proudly told the car club, and half of them said, we're coming with you. We want to see it in action.
Yeah.
So I said, alright, fair enough. So we all went down. Oh, there must have been 40 of us.
And this, haven't we?
Yeah. How well do you know Ernest Kidney? Oh, I said, we're like bosom buddies. So we found this car number 8, and there he is sat in, reading my preferences out to his navigator. Go on then, talk to him. I said, I will. So I tapped on his window. He dropped window, and I said, Ernest, Malcolm Graham, if you remember me. I hope you do well tonight. He said, I'm not Ernest. I said, course you are, you're in his seat. He said, no, I'm his mate, I'm just reading my preference. Well, the laugh went up. I don't think I've lived it down to this day. Anyway, we went and watched, and he was giving it rice. And he finished 6th overall.
Yeah.
And they said that it was a 1600, so he won that class. But we knew better. It was 1800.
So, I mean, with that car, what came after that? Because, I mean, you enjoyed quite success and you enjoyed notoriety because the car was very, very distinctive because it was to occasionally be seen driving through the town centre.
Yes. Well, its demise came after we got it in 79. November, just in time for the RAC rally, and the first thing I did was go his car at Norsley Safari Park.
Yeah.
And somewhere in my scrapbook it says, my time, 5 minutes 31, Anu Nicholas, 5:34. So I'd really won the RAC rally just on one stage. So we had hellish time with this car for 8 years. And then it went to...
Not being funny, 8 years for a rally car is quite a long time.
It is, but it was so strong.
Yeah.
There was no damage underneath, the body didn't flex, windscreen hadn't fallen out. It was...
You haven't parked it up a wall or anything?
Several.
Oh, I plenty of them.
Yeah.
But it's... Well, it had 2 demises. One it came back from, which I'll tell you after this one. But the last one, it went to a local rolling road to be set up for the Devil's Horn. And I went to set the lights up on the Friday night, and I said to my mate, Big Steve Laraway, are you having a fag there? No. I said, well, what's all that blue smoke? Oh, he says, Eddie's coming from Fenton. Oh, I says, dear me. So we set lights up, we got in, and it were popping and banging. It had gone down really well today.
Yeah.
Through middle of Accrington. At tea time. And no police inside. And it was proved that it had been set up too weak.
Yeah.
And it had blown a piston. So I straight down to Andy's. And Andy says, I've some really serious bad news for you. He said, I've been on to Japan, and those pistons are so special, they were called barrel-shaped pistons.
Yeah.
And they can do your new set of four for 6,000 plus shipping. I said, that's not bad, is it? So Andy said, you've a lot of muffins to make for that, Mark. I said, you're dead right. How much are they now? I said, 10p, they've gone up. So he said, why don't you just get a cylinder head off a 180B, no, a block off a 180B, and you've still got your twin 45s. It'll not be so bad. Well, we did all that, and it was horrendous. Really seriously, but slow.
Yeah.
But one of Andy's mates who'd worked for Andy Dawson, Wally Ainsworth, he said, I'll sort it for you. Leave it with me. When will it be ready? Oh, give me 3 weeks. So I give him 3 weeks. I entered a rally. Is he ready? No, I'm struggling getting this. I entered about 6. No sign. All of a sudden he's ready. He charges just over 2,000 quid. And it were slower than it was to start with. So it has to be sold.
Yeah.
So I put it in motoring use for 3.5, and I got an offer of 1,500, who later gave me a deposit of 500, and when they took 38 wheels and tyres, all brand new, and my car, there was 100 quid short in that, and I didn't get another penny. So that was the end of that. And I started sprinting and hill climbing then in MG Roadster, and did that for another 8 years. And on my 50th birthday, I got an invitation to go and be an instructor at Rally Drive in Blythe Aerodrome.
Yeah.
So I did that for another 16 years, so I still kept my hand in. I can't say I loved every minute of it, but the people I met there were... There's nobody normal in rallying. And I found out there's nobody normal in racing either.
I was told, I was once having a conversation with my past guest, Angelica Fuentes Garcia, who is Mexico's most successful race and rally driver. She's won the Panamericana 20 odd times. And I was having a chat with her, and I said, what is it about racing and rallying and everything else? Because I mean, when she does she's now in one of the latest Porsches, but she was driving and co-driving in a Studebaker, what looked like a Studebaker, and it's basically an old Studebaker shell on the top of a NASCAR, 700 plus brake horsepower. She said, unless you're into racing, you're rallying, you'll never understand it. She said, but we are strange. I said, yes, I think we are really. Nobody quite gets this, really. But, I mean, Charlie, how many years did you sit alongside Malcolm?
He must have been at least 10.
Yeah.
More than that.
Maybe 12 then. Had I murdered somebody, I'd have got off earlier.
Yeah. And it won't have been as painful, really, would it?
No, it was a wonderful time.
Yeah.
And the one thing, hopefully, that will always be with me is all those memories of all those events, and and getting to last control. You're like you've been out all night. Your car's covered in mud. It's probably got quite a few bits of branches and twigs and other things that we've picked
Well,
up.
from the sounds of it with Malcolm, Graham, it would have had a positive full tree with it.
Well,
really.
probably. And you get to that, like,
I mean, they always say in rallying, have you kept a log with Malcolm? Yeah, is it back waiting to be sewn up?
no, and you just say like 200 yards, final control.
Yeah.
And it's like you just turn to each other and you shake each other's hands.
Yeah.
And then he'd say, "Why the bloody hell did you say?" No, we had some fantastic times.
Yeah.
And it's just been a wonderful thing that I've no regrets whatsoever.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Now, they always say a rally driver and his navigator stroke co-driver develop a particular way of communicating with each other. Was navigating for Malcolm, was there anything specific you did that was different from, shall we say, a normal somebody else?
Well, if you remember back in, I think it would be in the 1970s, there was a television programme called Mr. and Mrs.
Yes.
Well, that was us.
This is worrying.
When you're together like that for so long, it's just like being a married couple. You know what each other's going to say, what each other's going to do, and and we knew, didn't we? And and there were never any of this like, oh well, you paid for that, so there were none of that.
No, there weren't.
We just did it. We just went on and did it.
Yeah.
And that were it. And
I can remember a good example of that. We were on some fairly local rally, and we had a 3-second advantage over John Morton. And Andy Dawson had told us when we got the car that he'd had a long stroke engine.
Yeah.
Long stroke and high revs don't go together.
Yeah.
So he said, but the amount of torque you've got from them, you'll be able to come out of upper hairpins in 5th gear, and you'll be faster than anybody else. Don't over-rev it. I said, well, what we're talking then? He said, well, at 6,000 revs in 5th gear, you've got a lifetime of rallying.
Yeah.
At 6.5, you've maybe about 200 miles.
Yeah.
At 7, you've got about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I said, right. So there we are at the start of the longest straight in Lancashire, Baythorn Straight.
Yeah.
And with 3 seconds advantage over John Moore. Charlie says, what are you going to do here? Are you going to hold it to 6 or 6.5? I said, yes. He said, it'll be 7. I said, you're dead right. And we did. And Andy were wrong. It didn't last 5 minutes. It only lasted 1.
All right.
And when you've heard people say, oh, I blow my engine up, we blew that engine up.
yeah, good and proper.
Oh, the bang could be heard all over Clitheroe.
Yeah.
As far as Dunsop Bridge. They were falling out of bed in Darwin. It was horrendous. And that's when the new engine came. And I could rev it to my heart's content.
Yeah.
And never another problem had we.
No.
Oh, and also, John Morton broke down at the same place. And I'd left the width of the road full of oil.
Yeah.
And bits of engine.
Yeah.
And John said, come and hide behind these stage wheels. I said, what for? And then we can wash next and go off.
You won't get that now, would you?
No.
Now, I mean, one question that has to be asked. I mean, modern rallying is incredibly high speed, incredibly spectacular, but it's in my opinion, it's what rallying is, it's what it's evolved into, but it's not what rallying was. And I mean, like, the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s were the heydays of proper rallying. What's your opinion, Malcolm, of modern rallying?
Well, I read a thing on Facebook by John Gribbins.
Yeah.
And he said, spent the last 2 weeks with a video of whatever forest he were going into with his Mark II Escort 2 or 3 weeks after. I'm definitely putting the hours in. So I said, John, this isn't rallying like it should be. It's like rallying by numbers.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has recce'd. Well, on some of the big rallies, they couldn't recce, they were too far. But everybody did recce in and bits and pieces, but not like today. I mean, they're all sat at the computer screens and television screens and simulators and everything else. I mean,
that's dead right.
It's like you said, it's not really rallying, is it? There's got to be a degree of surprise in rallying.
Yeah.
Like, did you not realise that corner with her?
Yeah.
We had a lot of surprises, didn't we, over his times?
Well, I sure as hell did. Yes, there used to be a machine and 2 men.
Yeah.
On an adventure into the unknown. Everybody on a level playing field, you'd hope.
Yeah.
And we went to the mall the first time we did it, and we thought, we're going to be professionally, we're going to make us own pace notes. So 2 families of us went into a big wooden cabin.
Like a Swiss cottage,
a Swiss eye. And we set off the first morning, and we'd done about 3 miles. And Charlie's on his second exercise book. I said, what are you writing there? He said, pace notes. I said, we've only done 3 miles. And we're on second book. I said, there won't be enough room in cars for us all. He said, I'll tell you what, nobody can drive flat out on these roads.
I mean, I've been told, I've never actually seen it, but I've been told Mull is one hell of a rally.
Oh, it is.
It is.
I said, we got out at one point, and I said, hey, look down there, Charlie. Them new little conifers growing. He said, no, them's not little conifers. The full-size conifers, a long way down. So we went to pub instead of pace noting, and we did rally week after, and I think, did we finish 13th just off calendar?
We were just off calendar, yeah. We were lying at one point. I think we were lying 4th or 5th, and then we had problems with radiator. We'd lost water, and somebody said to us at the service halt at Craigney, they said, best way to cure that, put an egg into radiator, and it'll you'll get round. So Mal says, well, we've lost a lot of water, we'll better put 6 eggs in. It got us round, but we were eating scrambled eggs for years.
But back to the question, what's your opinion of modern rallying?
I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Without being rude. It's often, our era was known as the golden era of rallying. And I'll swear that anyone of the top 30 were capable of winning. Stage rallies, night rallies. Now you're counting on one hand who's capable of winning. And I don't, I think the element of, let's go and get it rather than give it to me. They don't try hard enough. They just spend money.
The one thing you notice with a lot of modern rallies, and I've quoted this before, last year on one rally, I think it was the Estonian rally, it rained and there was a bit of mud on the road, and absolute hell to pay the drivers, but there's mud on the road. And you think, well, back in the day, drivers just got on with it.
And the same happens if it's foggy.
Yeah.
You can't rally in fog today.
I mean, they all moan these days if you've a bit of gravel halfway through a tarmac stage.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have a tarmac set up or a gravel set up. We had a rally car.
Yeah.
And
that did everything, and all being well, if you used a bit of forethought and spoke to folk and everything else, you think, well, probably them tyres are going to be best. You didn't have tyre technicians here, there and everywhere, and you'll need this for that, that for that.
Right.
I mean, it's like the good old days of F1. They used to drive on what ostensibly looked like wet weather tyres, and they drove every Grand Prix on these tyres.
Yeah. And that's but that's it. It's just like there's just too much technology gone into it.
Yeah.
And they just, I don't know, some of them are getting to be quite prima donnas, should I say, a bit. You know, they think like the Formula One drivers or something.
Yeah, I mean the cars are incredibly quick.
Oh, they are.
I mean the pace of them and everything else is staggering.
It is, but it's not. I mean, there's no enjoyment going and watching a car that just goes through. Whereas we used to go and bloody hell, Mickela's coming, look at that, and it's throwing it sideways here, and you get your head down, there's a rock coming, you know, and they were sideways everywhere, and they were just more exciting. I mean, like my wife's never been into rallying, but we were watching an old video, well, I was watching an old video on the telly the other week, and she says, blooming heck, Charlie, she says, that's a lot more exciting than the new stuff that you watch. I said, yeah. Exactly.
And the other thing is, okay, we've got Ford, courtesy of Malcolm Wilson, Hyundai, Toyota, but there's not the cross-section of makes and models of cars out there. And not being funny, with the current technology and rules and regs, they're a space frame with some carbon fibre panels around them. Back then, they were proper cars, weren't they? Okay, you took a car, you stuck like you said with your Datsun, it had a lightweight bonnet and bits and pieces, but ostensibly, if you wanted to go clubman rallying, it was a normal car. You put a roll cage in, a set of spotlights, timing equipment, seats and harnesses, and off you went. And to my mind, that's where it's like the spectators could look at a car and relate to that car, because to a degree they could go down to the local Datsun dealership in your case and see what was ostensibly the same car parked up, but in family specification. It's all changed, and I mean, what do you think about it all?
I think exactly what you're saying. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not what it should be.
Yeah.
I know progress is progress, but it seemed to have gone to a nth degree that has no importance to your public.
No, the public can't relate. It's like all these hybrid systems now and all the rest. I mean, batteries aren't working and all that. And it's like you said, you use some wire round car to hold gearbox in place.
Yeah.
You'd never see that today. So I conclude, you gentlemen consider yourselves fortunate to have enjoyed rallying when you did.
At its best.
Yes, definitely.
I can remember one moment, the last moor rally we did. Charlie and service crew had taken the car up on the Wednesday. Me and Jean were closing the shop Saturday morning and Monday, which caused mayhem with local customers.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it anyway. So we finished last minute on the Friday, and we're off in this 260C.
Yeah.
Stopping every 5 minutes for petrol anyway. We got to Auburn, and the ferry is where that desk is.
Yeah.
Dressing table. And I say, excuse me, where's he going? This mariner says, he's going to Mull. I said, I am. Not tonight, you know. That's last one. Oh, I said, I have to get there tonight. He said, I've just got one plan. he says there's a man called something like Angus McCaughton, who'll be in one of the local pubs, and he has a boat, and he takes people to across the mull. So we set off, and this bloke has anything but a parrot on his shoulder, and he's on. But he went like hell. We went in about 6 pubs. You couldn't see for smoke. Everybody has a full pint and a wee heavy inside of them. And he's peering to know he's not here. Anyway, he found him, and he said, would you mind taking these people to Mull? They need to get there tonight. So I says, but when we get there, how will we get to Tobermory? All buses run till 10 o'clock. Oh, I said, that's all right then. So he says, well, cost you 20 quid. I said, give him 20 quid. Jean says, whereabouts on Mull will he take us? And to our amazement, he said, Malcolm's Point. I said, place is meant for me. Where is it? He said, there's a map in the room, I'll show you. And it's on the southwest coast. He said, have you got any ropes? I said, I've no ropes. He said, it's about half a mile up a steep cliff to get. Oh, I said, we're not doing that. So we finished up on bed and breakfast, and first ferry in morning. We got to where we were staying, and one by one, Steve and Eric Binks came out, Charlie, Ian Jeffries. And she says, what's up with you all? And half of them had a black eye, one had a lip out here. And I said, what's going on here? Charlie says, oh, it's been terrible. I said, why? He says, well, you know how Steve Binns thinks he's into wine. He's been reading all about it. He said, well, it sure did sell up a bit. He said, we all went out for a meal, and wine waiter came. Who would like to choose the wine? Steve put his hand up high, please. So he picked this red wine, 2 bottles of, and said, would you mind opening, taking the cork out so that it can breathe for an hour? And he said, not this one, sir. This is one of the few red wines. Best drink cold, chilled. Well, they all started laughing. Steve dived across tables, smacked 2 of them in nose. They finished up outside. They never had a meal, and they'd all fallen out. So, the year before we'd done it, and we had second-hand Nobblies for Forest. We had normal SP R3s for road. This year we're doing it properly. We've got brand new SP44s for Forest, with slicks, intermediates, wets, with everything for night. We're on the start line on Tobermory. Fred Bent is doing the commentary, and I'll never forget his words when he said, right, next up we have Mal Graham and Charlie Woodward. Mal's done for rallying. What big, Christ, what's he called, that big MP from Rochdale?
Oh,
Cyril Smith. What Cyril Smith's done for hang gliding. Well, we'll have to wait to start. We're going well. All of a sudden, engine starts popping, the plug leads come off. So we had to, well, Charlie had to put that back. By the time we'd done the Forest, we're 2 minutes behind. That's enough to be 20th place when Bill Gwynn was leading. But it doesn't matter, because we've actually bought some professionally made pace notes by Nigel Hunter. So we'll get it all back tonight, and it's still raining as it does on Mull. Horizontal big lumps of rain. And we set off, and the first time Charlie said, flat over crest, 350, 90 left. We're just landing on grass, just getting it round. And Charlie said, I'm not keen on them bits. I said, Charlie, if that's what you have to do to win, that's what we have to do. So we had another 3 of them. And when he came to the 4th, flat over crest, 90 left. I'll swear we hadn't done 1 yard, never mind 300. And we're off. And I mean off, we're flying. I don't know what next island is to Mull, but we're on his way to it. And everything's eerily quiet. Never known an experience like it, but it's gonna come to an end sooner or later. And it did. We hit this telegraph pole. Ian Greenrod's measured it. Our red paint is 17'6" from the ground upwards, and it gradually spun, finished up 8 to 9 yards off the road, and the same amount down it. Windscreen wipers, you can always tell when you're in trouble when it's wiping your face. And it went straight past the axle in a big peat bog. And Charlie, being Charlie, says, have we to call it a do? I said, I think so, Charlie, and that was the end of that.
Well, it's safe to say we have to call it a do now.
I thought you might.
So, Malcolm Graham, Charlie Woodward, thank you very much for joining me on the Backseat Driver. It's been entertaining.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Rarely beaten on price, never beaten on service. Whether it's cars, bikes or commercials, Hoddy Tyres are the best in the business. And when it comes to tyre expertise and advice to supplying the correct tyres for your vehicle's specific requirements, nobody comes close to David Lakin and the Hoddy Tyres team. So give them a call on 01200 613 192 or visit the website at hoddytyres.co.uk.